What's going on, everybody? Nick Corona here. And let me start by saying I got mad respect for any bloggers who are live all the time because holy shit, like that stuff can be a pain. And I'm sorry to any of my subscribers who just got multiple emails or noticed whatever I was doing in the process of figuring out live. I just like doing live because it feels more real and you know everything's real and 100% unedited. Um, my name's Nick Corona, for those of you that don't know me. And, just assuming I'm doing this video live, I know a lot of my subscribers are going to come through. And I just want to, tell you guys, stick along. You might learn something. I'm branching a little bit out from Uber here, like I said in some of my last videos. I am a full-time Uber driver, part-time, whatever you want to call it. And this is a great thing that you can do along with Uber driving. It's more things that empower you to work for yourself and be on your own. And those things I'm talking about today, I'm going to be talking about cryptocurrency. I've got my mining machine back here to my left, and 3D printing. Got my printer back here to the right. I've combined these two things. They are two of my favorite hobbies. I've always been really into tech. I've always built computers my whole life. I love 3D printing. I love designing things. And I cannot wait to show you guys how I've combined the two. I mean, it is awesome. You take something like cryptocurrency that's so new and 3D printing that's so, yeah, it's new, but you can customize things. And I mean, it's just the perfect combo. You got all these people building these home rigs out here and there's nothing for them. I mean, everything we have for computers is built to be in the standard case. So I'm gonna get into this with you guys. I mean, right here, you can't even mount a graphics card on a flat surface. That's not a real thing unless you have, one of these mounts that I've designed. So, love to get into it with you guys. I'm gonna go over that. I'm gonna talk about my build a little bit. I'm gonna get into 3D printing a little bit, and this is just gonna kind of be my introduction video to cryptocurrency, rig building, 3D printing, mining, and we'll kind of go from there and see where our niche falls. To kind of get into the build a little bit, so for those of you that don't know about cryptocurrency, I definitely recommend doing some research and getting into it. The fundamentals of it you'll find is there's these things called miners, and essentially they're the people who run the cryptocurrency networks by dedicating an amount of their computer's processing power to these servers, and we get paid. It's like I'm a little piece of Chase Bank, even though they don't really do the transactions. We'll leave all that for another conversation. You are the bank, you are the Visa, you are the Fiserv, you're the in between, you're everything. So when you send $1,000 and there's a $15 fee, that $15 fee is getting split amongst the miners. This is the wave of the future, and I want to be a part of it, and I recommend, hopefully you, whoever you are watching this, you clicked on it, it says cryptocurrency, I hope you want to be a part of it too. So let's get into the bread and butter. So what's making me money here? My graphics cards alone. I figured these graphics cards are gonna make me about $2 a day. I'm not gonna say graphics cards a million times in this video. It's referred to as GPU. So the GPU I used is EVGA Superclocked 1060. I went with the 3 gig. A lot of people are gonna go with the 6 gig, and this is where you're gonna find a lot of controversy with this card. It's a $70 difference. And the 6 gig is going to hash a little faster, but not entirely faster, not $70 faster when you do the math. That extra $70 is really for a little bit more longevity. I could really get into all the reasons why, but the 3 gig card is speculated, not to last as long as the 6 gig card. I think it'll still last a long time. It will definitely pay for itself and make you some money before the income on this card is affected at all at this point, and it is December 2017. So all in all, I mean, if you're going for ROI, if you're going for cost-effective build, And sorry, ROI, return on interest, making your money back, cost effective build, low power build, a quiet build that's not going to be super noisy. This, in my opinion, is the way to go. If you want to be low power and at all, you got to go into video. I'm not going to get too into it. There's some Radeon cards out there that are super awesome, but they're also a lot higher on power consumption. I also believe in NVIDIA for reasons beyond cryptocurrency. If shit ever did hit the fan and everyone went to sell their cards, then NVIDIAs are going to sell first because they're better for gaming. They just are. So in this rig here, I went with 6 of these. So, I mean, right now, it's running behind me here. It bounces between about $16 and $18 a day. I've had it running for about 3 days now. Just overclocking it, tweaking it. That's what you got to do to get them to their tip-top performance. I even removed an entire power supply. I have a 750 watt on there. Let me show you guys. Now this is nothing special. I looked up the reviews. This one's okay. This was a little bit of a situation of me running out and buying one because I actually went with a server PSU, which are freaking awesome. It was my first time using one though, and I missed buying the adapter that you need. So if you get a server PSU, make sure you get the adapter too. I just went and picked this bad boy up at Fry's. I think it was like $100. But 750 watts, okay? It's also, high efficiency, smart fan, fully modular. That's a good thing to look for. Fully modular is going to save you a lot of mess with everything. 7-year warranty, that's awesome because I've actually had a lot of power supplies burn out on me. That happens. I mean, there's a lot of juice going through them. Wow, that's crazy. A 7-year warranty. That actually really impresses me. The next thing you want to look for when you are picking out your power supply is how many 6-pin connectors it has. That's all you really care about. 6-pin connectors. Each graphics card uses one 6-pin connector. You also can get splitters that split one into 2, but you still got to think about it because, for example, I think my power supply here, as I just showed you, this one has 4, but I used 6 cards, so obviously I have to use 2 splitters. I just, whatever keeps things looking nice and neat, don't over-split it, but definitely get a good power supply. The other thing to look for is go for gold. Go for gold and platinum. This one, see how it says bronze here? Don't go for that. I used it, I know, and whatever, it's a learning experience. Don't get a bronze power supply. Spend a little more, get platinum. Don't want this stuff lighting on fire. And you want to keep your wattage as low as possible. This is a very low watt system. This card, when you do your research, you start finding stuff out. These cards run at about 100 watts a card. However, given the power to hash rate, they're most effective around 65 watts a card. So 6 cards, 65 watts a card. I allow about 110 for the motherboard. All in all, this system's gonna be, in the 500 watt range. So super low powered. I mean, you guys look up Antminers, look up other builds. Most of them mostly go over like 1,000. Another thing you might notice, you can hear me talking right now. This is running full bore. It's not obnoxiously loud, and I'm gonna get into that because there's a way to make it be obnoxiously loud. I'm not saying you'd want to, but there's some different things you can do with the fans, and I'll let you know that I have it in a mode right now that makes it not be so annoying. I can have it here and watch TV. I can just leave it running like this really forever. It's been awesome. It's been running really great, and I'll do it at the end of my video. I'll show you guys. It's I prefer using NiceHash. It's a software. I'll get a little bit more into it in a little bit here, but basically when you use their fan control, it jacks all your fans way up, and it makes the machine loud, and you might get like a little bit extra hash per second, but I don't know. I just do it when I'm not home, when I'm sleeping and stuff. But I'd like to definitely keep going through the build with you guys. We just went over what power supply. Most importantly, make sure you get a platinum power supply, and guesstimate how much power you're going to use. Don't want to be underpowered. Definitely better to be overpowered if anything. And like one more thing, if I plugged in 1,000 watt power supply, that doesn't mean I'm all of a sudden using 1,000 watts. It's all low power. 750 on this bad boy is more than enough because I'm only getting up near 500, so I wouldn't even worry about it. Far as the processor goes, you guys just need something cheap. You're not gonna be mining a lot with your processor. Like, you can. 99% of processing is with the GPU. Your PSU can mine a little bit. This one is weak sauce. This is a Pentium. It's 3.3 gigahertz. This is like, get something cheap to make your computer work. I debate if I should have gotten something better, because when this computer's mining, I'm just gonna look right now live for you guys. Yeah. My CPU runs Kryptonite, and I mean, it basically never makes any money, which, not a big deal. But on my PC here that I also mine with, I have a better processor in it. I got a decent i5, kind of one of the late generation i5s, and that bad boy will bring in 25 cents a day. I mean, 25 cents a day over 30 days is just extra money on top of it. So I don't know how people feel about that processor mining, and I don't really hear about it a lot, and I would imagine it's probably pretty bad for your processor to just sit there and get hot as hell all day. But if you're going for a budget build, then just get the Pentium. These things are dirt cheap, and you just need something that's gonna make it go. As far as RAM goes, get at least 4 gigs. I went with 4 gigs ballistic sport gaming memory. For my next build, I will be doing 8 gigs, and let me tell you why. For having nothing on the computer, face value, it's pathetically slow. I mean, it's not slow, but for nothing on it, I don't know. I'd want to be able to click around a little faster, and I know that's really dumb, but it is what it is. The main reason I would go with 8 gigs though is because there's actually some algorithms out there that I think require a bit more virtual memory than 4 gigs offers, and I've ran into most of my problems with NeoScript. If you don't understand this babble, I wouldn't be too worried about it. Just take away, get 8 gigs of RAM and not just 4 if you don't want to worry. I'm doing things fine with 4, but there's a few algorithms I shut off because I didn't like the way they ran, and I just make more money without them. So get at least 8 gigs of RAM. Finally, my motherboard. So along with the power supply, when I did this build, I had some things kind of running behind, so I ended up going out on a whim and getting a new motherboard. I went to Fry's. Thank God for Fry's. I went with the Gigabyte Z270X. All in all, it's been good. If this is all you can get, then good. I wouldn't buy this though when I just have my run-of-the-mill pick. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you what I did buy, because after I built my machine, of course it came. It wasn't supposed to come for 2 weeks, so of course it came within 1 day, as soon as I got done building. But I actually like this BioStar more. The reason I like this board more is simply because its price point, combined with its warranty, combined with the fact that this board has 8 slots on it. So it's about the same price. I think it actually is the same price as the Gigabyte board. And this board, was created with a little bit more intentions of mining. And I just want to show you guys this board because it's pretty awesome. So here's your board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 slots. Intel board. like I said, this one is super made for mining guys. Like they only even put 2 sticks up for RAM on it, and like that's not even a hard thing of on a gaming board anymore. That would hurt your feelings. But yeah, everything about this board is just made to mine on. That's what it's for. I think it even says, I mean, is it a coincidence that it's the BTC Plus board? I mean, that kind of looks like Bitcoin Plus. I think they definitely market towards that with this one here. No real huge power difference with your boards. I mean, they're all gonna use about 100 watts, but for the most part, well, you want to allow your board about 100 watts. I usually guesstimate mine at about 110. Try and over guesstimate everything. Like I said, being underpowered is the worst. Your computer might turn on and you just won't know what's going on. It's gonna just run like shit. All right, so now I kind of want to get into some of this 3D printed goodness. First and foremost, when you're building your rig, first decision you got to make, where are you gonna build it? There's a lot of people doing it in like storage racks where they can like hang the card. That's actually, I mentioned that because I got this build from Vosk. Vosk is awesome. If you just phenomenal YouTuber, he is very informational. Shout out Vosk, so dope. And bro, I used all your affiliate links. Always use affiliate links. Please support these people. Don't necessarily always make a lot of money for, making this content, but every cent counts. So the first thing you got to figure out is where you're gonna build it. You're gonna do it in a big shelf like Vosk does his. There's a lot of mining rig frames coming out now, and those are cool. Those are really cool. There's a lot of people just building them like that, real square too. And I'm kind of an artsy person. I'm like an actor. I like things a certain way. And what I ran into is they were all just like ugly and stupid, right? I mean, I don't know. I just didn't like them. So this is my first mining rig, and this is an IKEA nightstand. And it really sparked the idea for me that I'm gonna start building all my rigs in furniture, and this is gonna be the least incognito rig I have. I want them to be hidden. I want it to be something that you can stick in your living room and plug into the wall, and no one but you is gonna even know that it's something other than a piece of furniture, unless you go and show them. I just think that's cool because there's a lot of people that want to get into this but can't directly like find their way how. There's people selling their mining equipment because like it's too noisy, it's in the way, they got kids, like a million different things. Well, is your refrigerator in the way? I mean, that's a big ass piece of equipment keeping food cold. Is your stove in the way? Is your dishwasher in the way? You just gotta make it be not out of the way, and that's not hard to do. And I mean, there's a lot of benefits, even in the wintertime. It's gonna help, right? I'm not gonna lie, this isn't gonna heat your house. I can shut the air off down here. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. It's like 30s right now. It gets pretty cold out, but if I open the windows, crack the windows, and let my rig run, I'm freaking freezing when I come home. This thing isn't warming my house up. Maybe if I had 5 of them in here, but not one. Not at all. So, okay, you decide where you're gonna build it. Next thing, how are you gonna build it? You don't go buy a cabinet that has motherboard slots. It's all gotta be 100% custom. And I do have a lot more things developing because you need things. So what's the first thing I ran into? Where am I gonna set my motherboard? Where am I gonna put it? I've always mounted them in a case. I never even ran one outside a case. I didn't even know if it would work, if the board would be grounded or not. And turns out boards now are pretty much self-grounded. But where am I gonna put it? So I start thinking about my 3D printing and how I need to make somewhere to put it. So I haven't went as far yet as to make up a platform to screw it into, which I am and I will do. Um, Initially, I went for a little bit of a quicker resolution, something a little more solid, and I found these feet online for motherboards, and then I customized them a little bit. I got one here. I'm gonna show you guys. It's not the most high quality print, but it's a utility part, right? So it's just a little foot. I just changed the size of it a little bit. I added on these little tabs on the side, but there you got it. You just stick that where the screws would go, all along the motherboard. So my whole motherboard is floating on these. And then I put these little tabs on them so that you can screw them. Screw them into wherever you're putting them so that everything stays, you know? You don't want someone to bump into your rig and the motherboard go whipping off, because that's the end of your rig. So yeah, this is the one thing that I am not selling yet, but I will be soon on my Etsy. I'll probably sell them in, you know, some kind of combo pack, 10 pack or something. They're super cheap. But yeah, this is something that will really make things a lot easier for you. I kind of want to develop one that would allow you to do a sideways mount too, putting the motherboard on like, you know, on a vertical surface. I think that'd be great. And that's what this motherboard's on right now. I know you can't see very well because of the camera angle. The next thing I want to get into is my bit mount. I'm a little more proud of this one, and at the end of this video I'll move around a little bit and we'll get some up closes. Now, what a bit mount does is it allows you to mount your GPU on a flat surface. Normally, you can't do that because of this tab right here. See, these two GPUs I've pulled out to the edge because that's where they have to be mounted. There's a tab on them because when you mount them in the computer, that's how you screw them in. You know, put a screw here, put a screw here, and it's safe. It's similar to like a DJ rack or, you know, any of that stuff, anything that holds a lot of equipment. So then I ran into like, well, look at this shelf. There's a lip here, but then this lip down here is all the way out here. And I didn't want all the cards to be out and exposed. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. So as you can see, the orange, green, orange, that would be my bit rig mount. Here's what they look like. So what you have here, it's entirely plastic, obviously. ABS or PLA, it's not gonna make a difference with a part like this. So they lock into each other. They have a male and a female end, and I can change the spacing. This is just a real breathable spacing. As you can see, if anything, it's overkill. But there's a few nice things about these. And I'm gonna show you guys real quick. I have a riser sitting here. All right, so you got your risers. The board's got 8 slots. Plug this into each slot, and that's what extends it. It's also got a little power cable here. You gotta plug that in, as well as, you know, the 6 plug to the top of the card. Anyways, these are what you have to mount. So when you're building your rig, mounting a graphics card is mounting this. So makes it super easy to just have these. And there's a few ways to go about this. Put this bad boy in the middle. Now, why you're using this, let me just remind you, is because of the thickness. Okay? This is gonna get your card high enough off the flat surface that you can just put it wherever you want, which is awesome. And then it's all just gonna be, you know, linked together and held in there. This would be great for vertical surface mounts, anything like that. Like I said, I can customize this to a T of anything we need. This is the great thing, guys, about 3D printing. I was able to, sorry about that, come up with this design, prototype it, test it, like, it's ridiculous. Here was my first design, you know, started out with, oh, I think I know what I want to do, like, oh, the tabs aren't big enough, and then it wasn't thick enough, so then you scratch that design, then you go to the next one, and say, oh man, it needed to be really thick, it needed to be this, it needed to be that, but damn, it's ugly. Scrap it, go to the next one, take the same thing, make some mods to it, make it look better, test it, use it, find out what you like about it, what you can make better, and move to the next one. But dude, cryptocurrency and 3D printing. Come on, guys, we can make some cool shit. I'm so sick of seeing these rigs just laid out everywhere. Like, come on, let's do it. And these, the bit rig mounts, I do have these on Etsy. So if you're looking for some kind of solution like this, Etsy, if you want something custom, hit me up. I'll get it to you. We can do it through Etsy or however you want. And I have done quite a few custom solutions, and that's why I'm showing you guys this one, because so far this has been really awesome. Another thing you can do, and actually why, I guess I should explain why I put these tabs on it. So if you want to have it just be in one place, you can use these little lips on the inside to screw it to a surface, and then you can just screw your riser to this part of it. So my thought process was, if you want a rig that you can move around and it's not super duper permanent, you can just screw your risers to this, and then you can completely move your card around. You can move your rig every day, and say you got 5 or 6 cards, you just go set them in the new place and link them up. And the fact that they're all linked together is gonna like hold them up and keep them secure. When I first made this, I actually envisioned making my rig on a shelf, like a plastic shelf, and I was like, I don't really want to zip tie everything to the top. I don't really want to like screw it all in, and the cards can't stand up on their own. They need to stand up for ventilation. So for all those reasons, this simple little piece of plastic was actually huge in helping me build my rig, and I'm gonna continue to modify it to make it just easier to use. I'm probably gonna make it a little smaller, and definitely gonna keep using it in my builds, because this would be ugly without it. Some of you may notice I have an Antminer back here. I'm not even gonna get into it because it's an old archaic piece of crap. It's a S3. It's really, I bought it on Craigslist to make this mount. So go back to 3D printing. People have all these Antminers. I just got so sick of seeing like Antminer with like power supply, wires everywhere, huge insane mess. I made an ant mount. So it's just a simple plastic mount that screwed in, and it rests on the machine, and it holds 2 power supplies. So simple. So simple. Yeah, guys, 3D printing is amazing with this. Just some random stuff, random shelf I made, but you know, things like this are just, you know, can be used to mount other things, lead to other ideas. It's endless with the 3D printer. Red Bull drinkers. I kept spilling Red Bulls in my car, so I eventually made this. I call it the skinny can holder. skinnycanholder.com. But yeah, it holds your Red Bulls. Can't spill this now. Holds all the skinny cans. Super dope. All right, and so another thing about my rig, I did a 1 terabyte hard drive. I don't know if there's any believers in Filecoin out there, but Filecoin or something similar to it is just inevitably going to happen, right? It's only a matter of time before we build our own internet, and it is going to be dope. So shoot, getting up to 29 minutes here. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope you learned something. I'm gonna do my best to put all the affiliate links in the description, so you can do your own build, so you can support me a little bit if you want. I'll definitely make more videos. And one of the things I wanted to do here, just to end the video, I got my 3D printer here, and I didn't bring it out for nothing. It's actually been heating up this whole time, so I just I'm gonna show everyone a close-up of my rig, and then we're gonna do a little close-up of a 3D print and see what that looks like to get started. All right. here's the rig. So there's our bit rigs on the bottom. You can see how nice that makes everything. I recommend, I don't know, it's up to you if you use a top support or not. I'm going to invent something. I plan on 3D printing some type of A-frame that you'll just be able to put on the front of the card, and it'll basically be like the shape of an A. It'll go up, hold it here, and go down. And it'll somehow kind of like fit on the edge of this so that you can use the plastic mounts for everything, and it will make life easy. It's gonna be great. And here is my motherboard. As you can see, she's just floating there. She is just floating. And I do my best, guys, to show everything because I am the kind of person that will go back through a video looking for the perfect angle of something, to see where something's plugged in, or to see how someone else did something. And I definitely want to help everyone out as much as I can. All right. Let's get over to our 3D printer. So, what we have here today, we would like to print. Oh, I need my glue. I don't have my glue. We'll try and do it without glue. We normally glue the surface, but for the sake of this demonstration, we will not glue the surface. And hopefully everything will work out. Make me 1-bit rig. It's so cool to have a 3D printer and you set it up and you tell it to make you something, and then you come back and you have something you didn't have before. It's awesome. So it's just heating up a little bit here. I'm using ABS plastic. Like, this stuff is cheap. For the most part, it's like $25 a roll. I think I got this one on sale for like $13, and making something like a bit rig mount is probably about 30 cents worth of plastic. So here you go. Printer's squaring itself off here. And yeah, off she goes. There it is. So guys, this is how I make all of my bit rig mounts. I design them all here by myself, prototype them, 3D print them. This particular print is probably, I believe this is a 3-hour long print. Not too bad. Probably one of my shorter prints. I print a lot of stuff from computer accessories, car accessories, bathroom accessories are awesome. All the upgrades on this printer are printed, so like this support piece is printed to give extra sway support. This was printed, belt tensioner, finger guard. These are actually tensioners to keep the printer from swaying. Filament holders printed. There's a tensioner on the back of that that's printed. 3D printing is one of those things that you don't necessarily know how it could affect your life, and you don't really think about it. But when you own a 3D printer, it starts affecting your life in ways that are so minute and awesome that it's like unexplainable. For example, my bathroom is full of toothbrush holders, soap holders. I needed a little shelf in my shower holder. You want some kind of docking station for your phone. Then I'm printing like light switches, and I'm printing toys for my dogs and cats, and I'm making stuff up. I mean, literally, it's endless, guys. And I don't know about you guys, but someone like me, I think of it, I make it, I do it. I thought of the bit rig, I designed it in a sitting. Most of these things are designed in a sitting. Not one sitting for how long it takes you to think of it, but sitting for the rest. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I will do my best to answer every single question. Um, Love to make more videos for you guys. I don't currently have a lot of people that watch me live. I just do this so that you guys know this is real. Um, this is where it's at. I don't like edited videos. I really don't. Um, Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll make sure to put my Etsy link in the description. If anyone wants anything custom made or has any awesome ideas for anything to do with mining, get at me, let me know. I would love to make some more videos. Maybe we can get into cryptocurrencies themselves, talk a little bit about which ones I think you should